hopefully she can like join back in with us. You guys do want to stick around and see this because this is,
Okay.
yeah.
Can you hear
Okay,
me?
now you're perfect. I can hear you.
Okay, great.
Okay, fantastic. So, Brianna, Miss Beauty Boss and, you know, award-winning instructor. So you're going to help us really finalize this series of our 3-day series and how to actually pack a kit. You're going to show us your Boss backpack. I'm calling it the Boss backpack. I don't know what you call it, but
It's called the Beauty Boss backpack. That's what it's called.
fantastic. So guys, this is what it looks like.
She's a
You
beauty.
can see this beautiful bag and of course the back of it. We're gonna get all up into this bag today. We're gonna like see how to pack it today. We're gonna be all about this bag today, okay guys?
I'm in love with it.
So how'd you come up with this bag?
You know, what's interesting is I usually design things that I personally need. You know, I feel like when I'm on set with different artists, I would see them show up with like these huge suitcases, and I didn't understand if they were going to Miami or on set. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. You're like, are you gonna move there?
Yeah, are we moving? What is happening? So I was a little concerned. And so I also needed something that was very efficient and allowed me to perform better as an artist. I think we spend so much time looking for stuff to actually use that it cuts down on your performance on set. And if you
Absolutely.
work with photographers, most artists know that it's about being timely. So I think that is very important. So I try to design things that I need, that are efficient, that allow me to perform better as an artist, and also that look good. You know, you don't want to carry things that don't look good, so they have to be fashionable.
We're
And so
definitely gonna get into that part.
right. And so that's why I came up with the Beauty Boss backpack. Like I've seen a lot of things, and you and I, of course, have used them, and probably everybody in this industry have used various kit options. But my problem with some of them were they were too bulky, or they didn't have enough compartments, or they had too many compartments, leading to we're back in inefficiency again. And so I said, okay, I need something that is portable, I can throw on my back, that allows me to compartmentalize product and also get in and out very easily. And so that's why I designed the Beauty Boss backpack. I went through a lot of testing. We tested it for about 2 years before
Nice.
I really, you know, went with this specific design. Another thing that I'm very cognizant about is it works for artists in different areas. So an example would be on the East Coast, you know, those artists cannot carry trolleys. Like, you know, those wheelie things, which is great, but they can't carry those, or hopping in and out of subways. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? To get to the
They gotta
street level.
sprint.
There you go. They're
Yeah.
sprinting. Get to a street level. You're climbing 3 and 4 flights of stairs just to get to the street level. It's not practical.
Yeah.
On the West Coast, they're hopping in and out of Ubers or Lyfts. You know what I mean? It just needs to be a little faster. And in the South, even though we, you know, are a little bit more portable from a car perspective, you're carrying so much, like the chick that I saw, you know, arriving with this luggage, that it doesn't make you efficient as an artist. So I said, what can work in all 3 areas of the US and still be a solid win for our industry? And so that's why I decided to come up with something, and I think this is it for our industry and our community.
Yeah. And I will tell you guys out there, if you're not aware of what actual freelance artists go through, when I worked in Miami, literally for Fashion Week. Fashion Week was Miami's biggest week. So it's like New York Fashion Week, but for bathing suits, if you get that. We literally did makeup in bathrooms, like nightclub bathrooms. And so you can't carry a rolling case. There's not enough space. Literally you were like 4 artists in a bathroom doing 10 models or however many models. And so space is also really a thing. Even when I was on a movie set in Houston, they give you a fold-out table for like 3 other artists, and you're like, yeah, you don't have space. So it's really important that you think about where you're going to be doing makeup at, how you're going to be doing makeup, you know, your spacing. And if you're like me, I don't want a messy table, which is why I tend to work from, you guys saw at the beginning of the week when I said I work from a bag. I literally take my bags out one by one, and I work from those bags. You will see how that's done as well. But one more thing I want to mention before I get back to Brianna is that when you get a product from a working makeup artist, not someone who's been in makeup before or used to do makeup way back when. No, Brianna is still working currently. She's still in this business heavy, hardcore. So when you get a product from a working makeup artist, pay attention, because that person has suffered through enough things to sort of make some realizations.
Absolutely. I couldn't better myself. I think, you know, it's interesting in artistry, you go through so many different phases. I think when you're young and you're in your 20s or, you know, that kind of thing, I feel like it's about consumption. How much makeup can I consume and
Oh my
have
God.
carry with me? You
You
know,
get over that. You get
like,
over that as you grow.
absolutely. I'm in my 40s. I just turned 40 last year. I'm not carrying all that stuff. Like I tell my students this all the time. You know, I teach aesthetics and makeup artistry at Salon Boutique Academy during the week. And a lot of my students are on this call. But I said that to say that I tell them, you know, when you arrive on set, you got to think, why do you have all this stuff? Because what are we building that
Absolutely.
requires all of this stuff?
Yeah.
And then they show up and then you're just doing one look. Like, what are you doing?
And honestly, unless you're the key artist,
Yeah.
you're doing extras who require what, like cheek and a lip, and they're the heck out of your chair. They're
Absolutely. And now, the older you get as an artist, you're using multifaceted product that can be used for so many different areas.
thank
And you
heavens.
have to bring a
Yeah.
bunch of stuff with you.
Yeah.
And so I think it becomes, as you get older, downsizing the amount of things you're bringing with you and using product that's multifaceted, so you don't have to carry every single thing. You
Yeah,
know?
and that's really what this whole series has been about.
Yeah.
Like, I can use lipstick for a cream cheek.
Yeah.
I can use liquid highlighter for a mixing medium. This whole week has sort of been about like how to minimize that kit and how to
Yeah.
downsize that kit. So let's get into the actual bag while people are
Sure.
here to see this
Yeah.
gorgeousness.
Absolutely. So hold on, let me try to fix this. You know, I'm a little. Okay.
Well, you're at, yeah. Well, the first thing I want to do is go over the features of it. Like what, you know, like I want to go over the features of it so people see what they're actually getting when they get the bag and how sturdy it is and how well it's made. You guys have no idea. This bag is so detailed. It's like, yeah.
Oh my, I love it. So a couple of things. When you first get the bag, I have one here and it's packed and I'll unpack it in a second. But when you first get the bag, usually it's stuffed. And the reason I do that is because I want you to get the bag the way it shows on the website. A lot of times we have things, you know, in our warehouses and stuff that's been kind of packed in boxes. And I want you to get it that way so it looks as beautiful as it actually is.
That's really sweet. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, so I stuff it and I pack it and stuff it for you. And so what you'll first notice is you have 5 pockets on the outside exterior of the bag. And those are what I call like my grab and go areas. So like, you know, a lot of times I have lashes in those compartments. I'll have palettes in those compartments. Can you still hear me? Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay. So I have palettes and things in those compartments. And so they're just easy, accessible things, right? And so I have a bunch of palettes. You know, I have some Makeup by Mario palettes in the compartment down here. So just easily accessible. This is our Return to Glamour palette coming out pretty soon. So stay tuned.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's get it.
This is launching this year. We're so excited about this Return to Glamour palette. It's one of the palettes that are honoring our Black Hollywood icons, and I'm so excited to launch it.
Awesome.
Then we have some other things, like I keep highlighters, disposables, things like that in all of these compartments. And so they're very wide compartments too. So
Yeah.
anything in these little side compartments.
So these are all your quick grab items in a way.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Like quick grab items, right?
Touch up material, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. Another thing that's important, and people need to think about this in the manufacturing of the product, this is something I thought about. If it's going to be a backpack and be able to hold the amount of weight that we do carry, the threading in the fabric has to matter. So what we did was engineer it with nylon. So every piece of thread in this backpack is engineered with nylon.
Wow.
And know a little something about nylon. Even in gloves, nylon is the strongest glove material, but nylon is even in re-engineered rubber tires that you drive your car on. They put nylon in ropes that people rock climb from. And so every piece of thread on this bag that holds everything in place is nylon.
Come through technology. I mean, come through with the science.
Yeah, right. So it gives you the strength and adhesion you need when you're carrying your items to know that your straps aren't going to break, right? And so I thought that was very important. And that's why testing it took so long, because I would test it and I would think something's not right. It's not carrying it, or it'll slump in the back. And so we went back to the drawing board several times on this particular bag. And so another thing that a lot of people don't notice too is I give you a crossbody option. So inside of the bag comes this long adjustable strap.
Okay.
So you don't want to throw it on your back. You have a crossbody strap. Like if you're going through the airport or something, you just want to toss it on your around
Like
your
a side satchel.
like a side satchel. You have that too. Then we have this beautiful ergonomically designed top handle, and it's very very sturdy. So if you want to pick it up from the ground, you have that ability to do that, and it holds itself in place, and it's not going to come apart because you have these 4 gold tone bolts that are
Yeah, you have these. You have rubber and grommets.
yeah,
I mean,
and
yeah.
they're gold tone. And listen, I am a gold tone girl. Like I think.
No, you're kidding.
Yeah, right. So listen, I think if you have black and gold on anything, you look expensive. That's what I think. Black and gold, you look expensive. And so
I think that's also Pat McGrath's theory of things.
right. Absolutely. And you talk about our icon, right?
Yeah.
So another thing a lot of people don't know is that when you turn it over, you have these luggage feet. So you see those little
Oh, and they're gold as well, guys.
they're gold as well. And so if it never touches the ground. And so I love, so if you sit it down, it doesn't fully touch the ground. And so that's something that I designed to put it in there. But what the great thing is, when you turn it on the back, that's where the zippers are actually housed, is on the back of the bag, right? And so I think
Are you guys getting all this detail? I mean, are you getting all this?
So that's what I think is really cool, is that on the back you have the zipper detail, and it's not in the front like a lot of bags are, right? And it's flat against the body too, so it feels nice when it's against your body from the back. Now, when you open the bag, and I'm going to open it here to the side, I'm all about details. If you look at the zippers themselves, you can see they have our StunnerBee nomenclature and logo on them. So
yes.
I
Yes,
wanted
indeed.
every zipper to have that logo, right? So
Well,
that was,
honey, that's great. It's a personal touch to the bag, so I think that's actually beautiful.
and so another thing that we have is we have our iPad holder, or it's a computer holder. And so I love this kind of levy situation that we have built into the bag, because I have to go everywhere with my iPad. It's kind of, I can do business, I can send invoices, people can pay me, that kind of thing. I always make sure I'm able to get a check on site. So
hence the term boss, boss beauty. Beauty boss.
right. So there's no, things that you cannot pay me and I can create an invoice on site. You know what I'm saying?
You will pay me.
So that's one of the reasons I carry my iPad with me, but
Nice.
also allows me to function and do business. And then you get my favorite things that come inside of the bag, and those are the 3 carry-all inserts that come inside. And so they look like this. So there's that beautiful vegan PU Croco embossed faux leather.
I actually love these. Like, I love these. They're look at the vegan leather. Like, it actually has texture. It's not just like some utilitarian bag. It actually is a bag that still carries along the same principle as the backpack itself. It has the gold detailing. It has the sturdy handles. And so from the outside to the inside, you're getting the same quality. You're not losing anything, And you even have literally the detailing. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And so you have this, these carry-all bags. Now, listen, here's the thing. I think in makeup, there's 2 types of makeup artists. There's the depotter community, and then there's the compartmentalization community. Meaning you have people, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great, yeah.
So you have the people that have time and they can depot everything, which is fantastic, right? I think that is ultimate organization. But I am not that person. Okay, I am the compartmentalizer person. Right? So I love those people. God bless them. I don't have the time. But what I do love is being able to segment according to category.
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely. I was talking about that on the first part of the series. I was really talking about how to organize. I carry the inserts in my bag in order of how I work. So I have my pre, everything, my prep work in one bag, and I go to my eyes because I do eyes next, and I go to da 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 da.
That's me all the way. So the way I set up, because you get 3 of these bags with you. So my first bag that I put in front of me is going to be skin prep, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Anything that deals with skin, it really needs to be in one bag, right? And that's from our beautiful Embryolisse products. That's from our Skindinavia products. That's for all of our Bioderma products. By the way, you can get all of those at Camera Ready. All those things to be in your skin prep section, okay? And so I lay it out and I work out of my kit. That is what's important. The biggest tip I can give you, like you said too, Calvin, is working out of your kit and not taking everything out for a job will save you so much time. So,
Less distracting, less messy, the whole thing.
and a lot of times when you're working, a lot of people don't know that cameras are rolling and they're looking at your setup to make sure you are working neat, okay? And you're going to be in the film, or if you're doing a beautiful bridal situation, you're going to be in the shot. And so you want to make sure your area is kept neat and organized. And working out of your kit is able to allow you to do that, and it's going to cut you time on the breakdown of your kit.
Absolutely, the packing. But another thing too, guys, if you have a messy station, do you really know what's on your station? Someone could come by and grab your pencils, grab your brushes, and you don't know because why? Your station's a big old hot mess. And so you're like, where my brush go? You know what I mean? Meanwhile, if you would have kept things localized in your kit and work from your kit, you'll know exactly where your products are. They're in your kit.
Absolutely. And if you're having to walk up a look, right? If you're having start in neutrals and then walk it up to something dark and smoky, you know how you're aligning things. I just feel like people are just working a little sloppy, and that's not organized. And so first we have skin prep. So I keep all of my skin items there, right? Now, I am not, like I said before, the depotter girl. So meaning I think it's beautiful. You buy these beautiful view sets and stuff you can get from Camera Ready and all of these beautiful jars, which is great. But what I do is I carry my foundations and concealers in the original packaging. Listen, if I'm paying $50 for a foundation, I want the tube, okay? So
I'm going to have to come over there and help you, I think.
I know, right? Help me, help me. However, so I keep all of my complexion things as well in the next carry-all bag. So I'm working from skin to complexion. Okay, so all of my complexion items are in this bag. I have concealers, I have all of my liquid foundations, things like that, right? Then I have my powders. Now, one of the things
let me stop you real fast because you said something
Sure.
I thought was important.
Sure.
You carry full size bottles. And guys, I'm gathering the reason Brianna can carry full size bottles is because she knows 2 things. She knows color theory and she knows complexion. So she's already decided that maybe 4 or 5 colors in one liquid she can get done everyone. She can really just carry a few bottles, not like the entire, like some lines will have 40 colors. She's not with that. She's probably carrying what, like 4, maybe 4 or 5?
Absolutely. You know,
yeah.
it's so funny you bring that up. You know, I'm teaching makeup right now at the school that I'm teaching for. And the first thing I start teaching my class is color theory, because as we know, it's the foundation of artistry. And a long time ago in the land of MAC, when I used to work for MAC, I would see people, right? It's like a badge, like every makeup artist has it as like a badge, right? It's like,
right.
you went down that road. So anywho, I say that to say, I tell the story of seeing consumers come in and they'll buy every single foundation, or like new artists, they'll come in and buy every single color. But if you know secondary colors, you know how tertiary colors, right? And then you can get any tint, tone, and shade of those colors, right? If you got a black and a white. So if you know color theory, right, you don't have to carry so much product, right? And so, like you said, I have 4 or 5 of those foundations, and it also allows you to experiment with other brands and things and add them to your kit where they can actually be advantageous to you and your kit. And
Well, that's the
so,
one thing that's the one thing you're gonna need texture in your kit. You're gonna need matte, you're gonna need satin, you're gonna need the glow. So if you're carrying every single glow foundation or every single matte foundation, you're gonna have to carry those suitcases. And nobody wants to carry those suitcases anymore.
yeah. And also, what becomes the decision maker on set? Like, if you have all of this stuff, like, why, like, in what way are you narrowing down that scope since you have so much? And then you taking time to narrow that down is taking up more time, right? And so photographers like you to work very quickly. And so I don't have an hour to do a face. I got 30 minutes to do a face, if that,
Absolutely.
right? And so allowing yourself to understand color theory is going to cut down on that time.
Awesome.
And organized. And that's what we're trying to help you with this week at Camera Ready.
Absolutely.
So then we have powders. And so I tell people the two things that you're probably going to have the most of in a kit is going to be powders, because that creates dimension, right? So it allows you to be multi-dimensional, complexion things, and also lipsticks. Most people have a bunch of lip product, right? The one thing that people don't have the most of, which they should, is skin, right?
Yes.
So this particular thing allows me to create multi-dimensional looks to add to the dimension I've created in liquids or creams. And so these are my powders. And so I put that right next to my foundations. And so I'm working
in succession.
Yeah, in succession, one after another, and I'm staying on track of everything that I need, okay? And so that's one of the things that I also love about this Beauty Boss backpack, is it allows you to compartmentalize everything, not take everything with you, and only take what you need. How many times if we went on set or went to a client's house and you bring all of this stuff and you're like, I've actually used just one powder, two foundations, and
I think when you first start, you do that. And you're like, I have all this stuff, and I maybe, and the client asks for what? Natural. But yet you have 8 palettes with you, and you're like, I could have brought this one little natural palette, and why?
Yeah, it's so amazing, because I remember probably about 5 or 6 years ago, I went to the makeup show. And James Vincent was doing a seminar. I saw you were on with him last week, right? And so
He's fantastic.
And you know what's so cool is James was the first person I sent my entire collection to before I launched. And so about 5 years ago, I remember him coming on stage, and when he was at the makeup show, and they had the makeup show in Dallas, I believe. This was like 4 or 5 years ago. And he brought one bag, he brought one vinyl bag to stage to do makeup. And in that entire bag was his kit, right? And people were blown away.
Everything
In there, like skin in there, complexion was in there, powder was in there. He used a cream blush for the cheek and the lip, and he put it on the eye. And people were amazed when he just came and had this one individual bag to do an entire face. And so that moment changed my life, right? It changed my life and understanding.
He has that kind of power over people, doesn't he?
He does.
I mean, he does.
Like, what are we doing out here? You know what I mean? Like, it's mind-blowing. And so that moment really changed my life and understanding what you need versus what you want. And one of the pieces of advice he gave, I'll never forget it, and he said, Brianna, you have to remember that when you're doing makeup, you're responsible for the makeup application and also the breakdown of the makeup. And that blew me away when he said that to me. And he was like, being organized and being on time, and those are certain values that are just priceless. And so that's why I think I am so into developing things for our community that's going to help them be more efficient as artists, allow them to function easier, and allow them to perform in a way that ensures longevity in this industry, because they can do it the right way.
Well, I think that the backpack is a great indicator of what your intentions are.
Thank you.
It really does. I mean, it really does help you get organized. And not to mention, it's really great to look at. I think when people see this material, they're like, oh, it's really fancy. But as Brianna's explained, this is industry level sturdy. Like, even though it's beautiful to look at, because I think that's just her aesthetic as a brand, it's also sturdy enough to be beat on a little bit and rumble and tumble.
Great point. I think when people see bulky, they feel like that means sturdy, right? This particular bag is beautiful and sturdy, but it's not bulky. It doesn't feel heavy. It feels like an essential piece you can add to your luggage. And another thing that's really great that people have told, it's consumers that use your inventions in other ways. They give you different ideas. Like moms are using my bags now, like to carry things for their children and their infants and their newborn babies, right?
Absolutely.
I just think,
Why not?
right? I just think that's so dope. Like, and my aunt, she's a rep and she uses it like for all of her reps. She's a pharmaceutical rep to put all of her drugs in and stuff that she goes to see doctors and things like that. So I just think it's so cool that you can invent something that has so many uses, but I invented this for our community. And I just feel like everything that I come out with, that's my pledge to our community, that it will be beautiful. It will perform the way it needs to perform. And it also will make you more efficient.
Awesome. So, Brianna, I want to do one more thing before we sign off.
Okay.
Because this is something that kind of ends our series.
Uh-huh.
You well, like I said, you won Instructor of the Year. So you as an instructor, you really get to see these newbies come to you and they're bright-eyed and they think makeup artistry is this and that and they think it's all glamour. What's your one piece of advice that you would give a newbie to the makeup industry before they enter?
Keep going. Like, I keep going. That sounds so simple, but I think life has so many twists and turns, and the trajectory of your life is always not going to be the way you thought it would be. But you're going to look back at the end and think, my God, what a ride. Like, you have to keep going. And sometimes those days can be a little bit dark, but if you give it another day and another chance, and you will be amazed at what people will do to help you become the best version of you can possibly be. So just keep going. Keep going.
You're absolutely amazing. And Camerati just adores you and we love you.
I love
And thank you so much for doing this live with us. Everyone, make sure you head to Camerati Cosmetics. Again, Brianna's bag is available on our website and we are having a little flash sale, so check that out. Brianna, you have a beautiful, amazing, fantastic day. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys. Thank you.